Good evening, live from New York. The CC
Your favorite
Radio
show is on
Network
now.
Is proud to bring you
Shark
tonight's
Tank.
show, The Rebellious Rev and the Doc, where we talk about religion like you've never heard before. There's no evangelists here, just talk about religion with a twist. So let's get started and have some fun. Welcome our hosts for tonight, The Rebellious Rev and the Doc.
There is no heaven. There is no hell. There is only this world and its dark reflection. And we do not know in which of the two worlds we are.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the show. We are live, broadcasting from New York on the CC Radio Network. And the show is The Rebellious Rev.
Well, in the Doc, I hope that you're hearing me because I don't hear a thing.
You're not supposed to unless somebody calls in.
Usually I hear the lead-in. I didn't hear that. That's what I was trying to tell you.
Oh, you didn't hear the lead-in?
I heard nothing.
I heard nothing. I hear nothing. Oh, then we gotta do some more. I see why you hear nothing. I see why you see nothing.
Well, I have my glasses off. That explains why I see nothing.
Yeah, well, ladies and gentlemen, having some technical issues today.
Only today?
Well,
it seems like we're reverting back to the way we used to be.
Memories.
Not exactly fond ones either.
The way we were. Well, Mark, why don't we do this, and then we'll find out exactly what's going on.
Well, I mean, I'll keep talking as long as the audience hears
they can
me.
Hear you.
But
let's ask the audience.
Well, you'll have to tell me.
Let's ask the audience. Hold on. Let's ask the audience. Audience, do you hear Dr. Mark? Audience, please help us. Let us know. Oh, magic wand, tell us the truth. Tell us what's going on here. Are we live or is it a big joke?
I don't know. Is it live or is it Memorex, like the old commercial?
Tell me. Audience, tell us.
Yeah, baby.
I heard that.
Yeah, baby.
What did you do?
I turned your headset back on.
You had it off?
No, it was off. I didn't have it off, but I turned it back on. But that was only the listening part.
You trying to terminate me or what?
No, that was only the listening part. You were still broadcasting.
Well, I realize that, but I couldn't hear a word before that.
I knew this is the one time that you liked, that you actually wouldn't mind hearing Austin Powers.
Yeah, Austin Powers. Yeah, right, exactly.
I know
not one of my favorites, folks. No.
Yeah, but that's the only time you're probably glad to hear him. All right, ladies and gentlemen, our phone numbers are many.
Yes, we are expanding. It's 646-595-3275. That would be the number on Blog. And the number on Spreaker
Not that it really matters. You can call us at either one. If you talk,
it's 516-336-8510. We are accepting calls on both, and you can call us on both.
And it doesn't really matter if you're on where you're calling from. You can call either number from wherever in the listening world you are. And if you want to also call us on Skype, our ID is CC Radio Network.
And the chat rooms will be open shortly, so if you're a little shy,
Chat rooms are both open.
You
Now
can-
we just opened up blog.
Type your question.
Blog Talk is open. Yeah. Spreaker, we're open. And that's it. So we're ready to roll. We got everything but an audience of the show.
That's true. We have quite a bit to discuss. It's been a week since the Paris tragedy.
Exactly a week. Friday
The
to
terrorist,
Friday.
well, 7 actually. It happened last Friday evening, but a lot has happened. The terrorists have been eliminated. Those terrorists, the leader, Aboud, was eliminated just the other day on a suicide bomb. Along with his cousin and somebody else. France is still reeling from the aftermath, as understandably so. I really don't know what to say. It's been affecting the presidential. I wouldn't call it debate, but Donald Trump says you should register every Muslim. One of the reporters I heard asked Trump. Did I say Trump?
I don't know. You just said Trump. Yeah.
Yeah. One of the reporters asked Trump, well, what's the difference between that and World War II in Germany, when Nazi Germany made Jews register and carry cards? Okay, and he said, "Oh, it's totally different. Everything with him it's simplified. It's different. You have over 30 governors who have already signed petitions saying that they just don't want Syrians to be relocated, Syrian refugees to be relocated in their state. Now, many Americans are. Governor Cuomo, I would say, echoed it rather well when he said, if you do that, you might as well take down the Statue of Liberty, where it says, "Give us your tired, your poor, your huddled masses yearning to breathe free." These are people coming from military dictatorship. They're fleeing for their lives. They want political asylum. Yes, the vetting process could take upwards of 2 years, but everybody seems to be pointing to that one lone terrorist who came in through Greece with the migrants.
You're a male, so.
Uh-oh.
What? We have mail.
We've got breaking news.
We do?
Mark, tell me the breaking news.
Breaking news is that we have mail.
Yeah.
But in any event, it seems to be very mixed feelings. I'm sort of caught in the middle, I could understand people's fear,
Well, from what I understand, Congress also passed a law basically...
Well, that was the House. The House passed the resolution that they want to have a hiatus on accepting Syrian refugees until we can get this straightened out. But it still has to go to the Senate, and the the scuttlebutt is that the Senate is going to stop it from being passed. And then they said that they may wind up attaching, as Congress generally does, attaching that bit of legislation along with something else that they want to get passed in order to get it through the House and the Senate.
Usually if the House passes, the Senate passes it too, so it's...
Well, actually, they passed it with Better than 40 Democratic congressmen agreed.
Yeah.
So it was definitely bipartisan.
And the president's going to veto it either way, unless they can come up with more than
60 votes, right?
Yeah.
Well, remains to be seen. So there's a lot of politicking going on. Speaking of politicking, it's my understanding that Paul Ryan has signed on to the approval of an extension of the Zadroga bill, which is the bill for 9/11 first responders who have contracted cancer. It was defeated at first, but they resubmitted it, and they're hoping that it gets through the Senate. And then I'm not sure if this is just an extension or if it makes it permanent.
Well, extended for 100 years and it doesn't matter.
Well, one remembers back in the 50s when the United States was testing the atomic bomb in Alamogordo, New Mexico, and they told the soldiers, oh, it's perfectly safe. You can go in there without any protective gear. And some 20 years later, you had soldiers contracting cancer and leukemia, and their children were born with birth defects. And the government was trying to say, oh, no, we had nothing to do with that. Very reminiscent also of Vietnam when they used Agent Orange, you might remember.
Yep.
And they told the GIs that there's nothing to fear or worry about. And then as they came home from Vietnam, they were getting sick and they started to die. And of course, the government said, oh, we had nothing to do with that. So it's always been. It seems like the government has always done this.
It's not my fault.
Exactly.
What did I do?
Yeah, it did nothing wrong.
Exactly. The other thing, I saw, I don't know if you saw it, I saw a really interesting, I think, came on NBC, where there was a Muslim in Paris with a blindfold.
Oh, they all have it with about a hug?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, one guy started it.
One Muslim started it, yes. In fact, they showed on the news one woman went up to him and said, I'm Jewish and he's a Muslim, and they gave each other a hug. What they were trying to show, what the Muslims in Paris were trying to show is that while they are Muslim, they do not agree with what was done, the terrorism that was done, and it just, I remember seeing that once before, the power of a hug, and that's exactly what it is, the power of a hug.
It was very heartwarming. And
yes, it was. It was good to see.
That there are a few rational people around still.
One can only feel for, the moderate Muslims living here and in Europe, because unfortunately when you listen to the rhetoric of some of the politicians, they're lumping them all into one category.
Yes, same thing happened after 9/11.
After 9/11. I remember, stories of people attacking taxi drivers, because in New York we have a lot of taxi drivers that are Pakistani, that are Indian, and they're Muslims, many of them. And they beat them. In fact, in one case, the man was wearing a turban. He was a Sikh. He wasn't even a Muslim.
Yeah, a lot of them were Sikhs still were attacked.
He was beaten.
Because people are ignorant. They don't know the difference between Indian and Muslim.
Back when I was still working in 2001, my district put on a community project on a Saturday, I remember. And I was in the classroom with a Sikh, and he was discussing his, what he has had to face simply because he